Welcome back to Signal Programming. This is torian.lockett speaking. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your well wishes. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your donations, financial. Thank you for the respond and text, the respond and emails. Thank you generously. Thank you kindly. Let's look at Matthew chapter 8. Read a few verses starting with 5. We'll look at a few verses. This is the story where Jesus heals an army officer's servant. Verse 5. When Jesus was going into the town of Capernaum, an army officer came up to him and said, "Lord, my servant is at home in such terrible pain that he can't even move." Have you ever been in such terrible pain that you can't even move, and you're a servant of someone else at the same time, even if it isn't physical? Have you ever been in a situation that put you in such terrible pain that you couldn't even make a move, and you were under someone's authority? This is the stage that's set. Verse 7. "I will go and heal him," Jesus replied. But the officer said, "Lord, I'm not good enough for you to come into my house. Just give the order and my servant will get well." So the person who is in charge of the person who's going through terrible pain and can't even move, he refuses an offer for Jesus to physically go in person and do this healing. He says his estimation of Jesus is that he's too great to physically come into the life, into the home, into the surroundings of a person like this. This army officer, he looks at himself and says, "I don't need what is traditionally acceptable. I don't require what the crowds and what the people require. Just speak the word. Just give the order, and my servant will get well. I don't need any goings on. I don't need any fanfare. I don't need anything to be set up. I don't need it to be a service per se, but in order for my servant to be healed, he can't move, but I can move. You just give the order, and my servant will get well." Verse 9. He goes on to explain why. "I have officers who give orders to me, and I have soldiers who take orders from me. I can say to one of them, 'Go,' and he goes. I can say to another, 'Come,' and he comes. I can say to my servant, 'Do this,' and he will do it. I just give the order to me, and I'll give the order to my servant, and my servant will be well." Just speak it. It can be second hand, it can be third hand. However it gets to my servant, he will do this. Verse 10, when Jesus heard this, he was so surprised that he turned and said to the crowd following him, "I tell you, in all of Israel, I've never found anyone with this much faith." Jesus was surprised. He had the kind of faith that allowed others who were both over him and under him to have faith in him as well. When he says something, they'll do it, even if it means for them to believe and receive a healing. Typically, the people would need Jesus to show up in person. But this army officer and his contingent and his battalion, they don't need that. They require only that he give the order, he speak the word. And as one unit, they will receive. This army officer is not coming to the Lord on behalf of himself, but he's willing to carry the blessing on behalf of the person who needs the blessing from the Lord. He's willing to be the go-to man. He's willing to run the errand for his servant, even though he's above his servant. He's still willing to do the bidding of his servant. And not only is he willing to do that, but what he suggests in the description of his hierarchy is that everyone in his unit is willing to do the same. They move as one. They have one faith. many members, but their faith is like one person. Just give the order and we will receive it. Whoever needs it, each person here will make sure that that person receives it. Unified faith. Communal belief. Believing things as one, being on one accord. Do you and your contingent have the kind of faith that would surprise God? Are you and your fellow soldiers and your fellow servants, are you in such unison that the giver of all miracles is surprised, is beside himself? Do you have a unified faith? Because there may be one among you who's in such terrible pain that they can't move. And they'll need someone else in the team who can do their bidding. Someone out there needs your help. Someone in there needs your help. Someone over there needs your help. And you may need their help too. But it's going to take a unified faith, a unified belief to get your army through certain struggles. So join up and heal up, because life is waiting for you. Thank you for listening to Sigma Programming. This is torian.lockett speaking to you, saying have a spectacular day, and thanks for watching. Peace.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Sigma Programming.